investments kind of paying off here.
Yeah, definitely, especially with hands on the AK.
Yeah, and the little lap that D-HUD just did, right? Now there's 3 rotations to A. And they're like, should we go here?
They'll be hitting up the site with 3 players inside it. Madden nearly dead. Sphinx takes the rifle on full HP. Scout out of the equation. And a very fast move from D-HUD to try and come bolster this A site. So sure enough, you know, this is not the most unlikely of situations, but when Apex finds D-HUD through the smoke, suddenly things get a little shaky. We've got low HP on the Vitality side. There's 2. ZywOo stops it, and Madden, with a scout on his back and a Deeg in his hand, hopes to get something going, but ZywOo, well, he is kind of really good at Counter-Strike.
Really good, very consistent, not really ever been a problem. Not quite as crazy dominant as he probably was last year in terms of just the feeling. I mean, the stats are there, but I don't think that takes away from, you know, when you watch the match. I mean, it's not like it's not carrying like Simple is in some of these situations. But you know, he also has somehow it feels like less help than Simple does in a lot of these matches as well. So, well, one more thing that's kind of interesting is we saw G2 pick up a big win versus FaZe the other day. And that was, I think, in large part due to the fact that Alexi was really consistent with some great refrags, and over the course of both maps, even had some clutches. And I think the same can be said for Apex, you know, a little bit to raise the floor for Vitality, and the world may be their oyster.
D-HUD peeking around long. Gets ZywOo down. Dupree being given space, could come back up. Madden actually inside Monster Pipe. Magisk point blank gets him. Snappy peeks around the side of that one, anticipating the fight from short and smoking off Monster in the meanwhile. A little bit of a continuation here from Vitality. Snappy made uncomfortable by Util. Caught, dealt with 2v2. D-HUD slow play down connector. That walks right into the crosshair of Dupree, and now Hades is going to try to piece together the clutch. He gets ahead of the utility. Drops down relatively silently. Apex ready for the walk-up, though. Good read here from Apex. Nails him to the wall and gives Vitality a 4-0 T-side start.
Nice call out on the pathing. Some good energy. And yeah, great rebound. It was a nice re-aggression from Snappy to try to get one back. But overall, A control goes well enough. B hit a sound, and they take out Madden. I think that's the key one, who's trying to phase the smoke and Monster. Solid read from Apex to close things out. Yeah. I think most people would probably agree that Vitality they're just trying to get consistent stadium performances, because they probably level up in front of a crowd where some other teams might get a bit more nervous or shaky. That's where they'll shine. But getting there, that's also difficult. They're built to succeed, but how could you precipitate the story events? You know?
Yeah.
How could you precipitate, you know, Navi bouncing back to form? How could you precipitate the fact that, you know, there's just so many teams at the moment that it's
the fact that Spirit can get to a major semifinal. The fact that OG with 2 new players and a stand-in are going to make it to a stages semifinal.
Yeah, a lot of teams are very good. That's just the bottom line.
It's the era of competition.
The era of parity.
Yep. Finally. Anyone beats anyone. Had a nice boost here from Sphinx. Will it net them something as he waits, watching both sides? This was off of the tack pause from ENCE, of course. Fall down. Oh, Sphinx just kind of trickles into the open there. Apex gonna find him.
That was awesome.
Hades grabbed the gun at the very least, right? You're trying to employ that one rifle. So you come into it with a minimal buy and an idea. And the idea gets mopped up quick and easy. Little bit of wallbang damage, but that's a pistol for 4. Dupree will laugh at it and walk away.
That's great. I mean, they had the mid-smoke, and they waited until the end of it to make sure not only could they disassemble the boost, but they could get the kills with it. That's some composed movements here from Vitality.
I like that Hades transports that gun back to site, leaves it with D-HUD, and then just decides to go back for this, you know, little microaggression. Into the connector. And down at the hands of Apex. So he's got 2 so far, unraveling what ENCE had hoped to piece together. 4 of Vitality's members sitting outside of Monster, now deciding 30 seconds is the time to strike. Snappy inside of the water. Great flashbang coming out of the CTs. And it primes Diha for a double kill. We've got another pistol. Madden, he equalizes this. And there's only 15 seconds left over. Apex gonna try to give cover. Madden walking up on the left side. The 5-7 jumps high. Zywoo down low, and the reload's needed. The reload is what costs him. Vitality walk into a dangerous situation and nearly get blown away.
I'm not going to ask for a 5-7 buff. That would be heresy.
It's so good.
But if they obviously 1-2 more bullets there, and that's a very real situation where Apex was already down low. So quite sketchy, but I mean, they keep 2 alive. They keep the op as well. So another close call for Vitality, but they're off to the 5-0 start, man. This is very good. They made a good read on that round. I think they have a lot to look back on fondly.
You want my quick analysis? The 5-7 will get nerfed, and when it does, it'll go down to 15 bullets. Because 20 is too much. Great gun, great place.
Wait,
20 shots?
Is it 20 per mag?
20 bullets in a magazine.
That's actually insane. I gotta buy that more often. I just get lured by the deagle.
Yeah, man. It just feels better.
It just feels better.
It feels better, let's be honest.
So, walk up here for Magisk. And he'll do this without any support, but there won't be a CT looking in his direction. That's actually Snappy worried about the door because they don't have any connector presence. So maybe a little flawed there. Magisk will take 2 out, including his support.
Excellent start.
This is a full buy.
Yep.
That is all but evaporated at this point for ENCE.
Looking easier than just getting through those pistols on the B site.
And while Hades wants to leave, he also has an incentive to try to equalize. Guess he feels as though the trying to play around the smoke would be a bit too obvious, and heads back for a bathroom position and slowly creeps up for more space. Ooh, shot missed on Masuda. And Masuda, yeah, you got to kill him the first time, it looks like. That's a clean one. Diha very lonely.
Yeah, Masuda is one of these fun anomalies to me when it comes to Vitality, just because, you know, we can look at accomplishments for each and every one of the others. And Diha goes down, so nothing more than the 1 kill. But Masuda, you know, I think has earned some of the criticisms that have been called against him. And then all of a sudden, you just get like a bit of a bounce back. You know, I always said he's got 3 A's in his name because it's always 3 kills or nothing.
Yeah, kind of infamous for those multi-kills, but yeah, it should be kind of equally infamous for just that inconsistency. Unfortunately, I think he's one player who he's kind of looked at as a rookie, but he's far from that now. He's played on the team for a very long time. I don't think he's the first guy to crucify on the team, of course, when it comes to Vitality, when they have so many star players now, but he is somebody who was brought on, I think, specifically to level up the firepower.
He's gone on record and said it himself, right? It's hard to find a place for yourself when there's so many stars around you. Mm-hmm. How could you possibly meet the expectations that are set for the others? 5v4 thanks to Magis going for a little bit of a smoke spam. Enjoy it while you can. Your A1S soon to have 20 bullets. And Diha showing us why 1 shot in Counter-Strike can make a difference. Deagle straight to Dupree off party. Spinks ahead of the smoke that comes in from long. Molotov doesn't quite spread enough, so Spinks, he's got a little pocket to play off the back A site, and Zywoo just expecting him to take that little peek around the side of the truck. So man advantage versus 3 more Deegs. Another smoke on Dumpster. Quick rush out from Hades. That one gets shut down, and the bomb plant inevitably comes through. There's a chance for a slow fight here from Snappy. If he finds Magisk, maybe save the gun. Magisk, oh, alive and kicking as Snappy is the last to fall. 4 survive for Vitality off the 7-0 T-side start.
Awesome. Now, yeah, and yeah, there have been a couple of weird things that happened this event in terms of like form, right? The big game versus ENCE raised questions about both those rosters. Navi's really bad start was a huge question mark. Now they've shown that that was just an anomaly, and they're back at it. And for Vitality, just constantly just kind of waiting for that moment where everything works. And it does look like we have them clicking. And at the same time for ENCE, I think they're just thinking about, man, we're just not having a good event right now. Like, how do we get back in the game? Because we know that they're highest level. They're clearly the favorites over Vitality in current form. But just off the past few days, I don't even know if it's fair to say. And there's just always ZywOo. I think that's something that is the most constant thing for both these lineups through this event, through the past year, through the past 2-3 years, right? That is something that doesn't change.
Death, taxes, and ZywOo. Volley over top. To get by, and Spinks on his own for the moment. So we get ENCE with the B stack. Preemptive. Vitality leaning on their laurels.
Taking this one slow versus a beat up ENCE. We have seen that NAVI a lot of the times play some of these ultra passive setups. We've actually seen that happen with certain teams more consistently, where they give a lot of space on the right rounds where it's a slow default, and then the team has trouble with time because they actually don't know where those CTs finally are. They're confused about which side is better to execute versus, if it's 3-2, if they're going to run into a gamble. And I think, yeah, the more that Vitality search out, of course, the more they're going to be pressed to make a decision. ZywOo gets tagged. We crossed the 40-second mark. Bomb has not been collected yet.
Would be Dupree sent back to grab it. ZywOo looking for a second chance to knock down Hades, but now obviously on lesser health. Spink still locked in close on bathrooms. That could be Masuda's end. Spink sitting here. Masuda comes up. Can't win the duel. The Dink also comes out versus Magus, so that's Spinks softening them up quite nicely, as did Hades. 10 seconds. A little bit of desperation now sinking in for Vitality. They clear the two corners. Here comes Snappy down at the hands of ZywOo. Madden tries to fight out, and we get Vitality with 10 seconds on the clock, forcing their fights and having their way on A.
Yeah, he's making up new sounds. Sounds I didn't even know were possible to make. Apex pretty hyped about that one. Hey, that is one of the harder rounds, right? With the amount of damage done by Spinks on the hold. But the trades come down, and even though it comes close, and yeah, the bomb could have got dropped at the last second, that was one where ENCE did not have that much. Okay. He pulled up his microphone after.
Tried to do it.
Imagine how loud that is for his teammates.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know, I started this series by asking you, why would Vitality pick Overpass?
Yeah.
I've seen 8 reasons. Snappy's MP9 gonna take back man advantage, but we've seen them still fall to the rifles.
Apex is 13-3.
Love to see it. Every once in a while, we get the Apex Predator.
Last time Apex carried, they destroyed Navi's nuke streak.
That was also at a Blast Finals. We got a trade out down towards the B site. No real rush here from ENCE to collect their rewards, so the gun's still in the dirt. They could have had both by now, but they don't know what's outside of this monster, so they sit back and wait.
Yeah, this is can be a double mind game because of the 2 drop guns. The CTs, would they stack A, knowing that the guns are most likely to think about getting collected?
The timing!
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's sick.
Well, they had a peek from both sides.
Oh, they just got rope-a-doped. ZywOo on the fallback. You get Diha, 20 seconds.
You know, in some ways that was kind of tricky by ENCE, right? They don't pick up the guns, but they're still stacking the site.
Still right there.
Yeah.
Still right there on top of it. Vitality come walking in as if, yeah, the jungle's been cleared out. No, sir. So, weird way for ENCE to win their first round, but you got to give it props. 5-7 and an MP9 on the exit of Monster, and then by the end of the round, they do still go ahead and grab those weapons. So 2 AKs and an M4 in a round they had no business winning. Nicely done from Snappy to kick it off with this MP9 kill. Just shoots the legs out from beneath Magisk. Madden. There goes Apex. And watch this little peek on the right first. Right, he saw the shoulder, draws him into the MP9. MP9 trade attempt. 5-7 comes back with the dink.
True, that's a nice detail. How is the money looking like? Well, there's some left over. I would say we've seen some rounds that ENCE have already made kind of close, but overall still a good job here from Vitality. So there will be a bit more to chew through. This is one tough steak. Oh, with the spams.
That's just like last round on Monster, but now we're doing wall banks too.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Very slick. Dupree tries to slide out, gets a face full of Snappy's AK, and we've got a 5v2 here from ENCE, so welcome to Overpass. Oof. Vitality no longer having as much fun as they had in the previous 9. This one ends real quick, and this is exactly what ENCE need to do some sort of a recovery on the CT side. Convincing rounds, lots of players up. Go ahead and collect some money. ZywOo point blank dead to rights by Spinks. Another round that just looks easy for ENCE.
They're pretty subtle with some of these baits, and they're doing just enough to get the attention, to draw out these fights, to win these duels. And with 2 in a row, things get a touch hairier. I mean, like I think they still have one more buy, but now I think and see that they can bring themselves back into the half. This was a very good round from Snappy, and last round he killed Magisk with the MP9, partly because I think Magisk was also lurking out through the short tunnel without any utility support, not flashing through it, not doing it right off spawn and running, but just kind of walking. And that was a nice counterplay from Snappy. A couple good rounds back to back from him, and it's clearly the apple of Vitality's eye to try and take over that short water control. It's actually one more idiom that I don't actually understand, but everybody knows what it means. You don't seem to have any input on this.
I try to stay away from idioms. You know me. I'm always mixing them up.
Sitting right next to one.
Okay. What did I do? What did I do?
No, I was a self-burn.
Oh, all right.
You're sitting next to me.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I've got a victim complex.
It's the years of battering verbally for me, I think.
Like yesterday when I found out that apparently English speakers don't say no, terrace.
Oh, yeah.
A terrace. I've been calling it terrace. Mo, let's go grab a couple beers on the terrace.
Yeah.
Yesterday you finally filled me in. Connor, it's terrace.
Oh, yeah. You were saying it
the French Canadian way.
As a French Canadian, yeah. It's okay. I mean,
des bières au terrace, bro.
Yeah. That sounds pretty cool.
So, you know, I thought... Hold on. Spinks. Oh, jumping. Yeah. Jumping up and down. Doesn't recover. To be fair, unexpected T-side swing.
Yeah. I wonder why he was jumping. If he missed a... Or if he was trying to get back up the stairs and just didn't press back, or I'm not sure. Either way, he said, here I am. Then they killed him.
Come get me.
Wrong time to let a 5v4 go like that, though. This is the stairs taking over, and I think, again, Vitality leaning towards B. ENCE haven't figured out exactly where they want. I think there's a timing here for Deha where he'll start to flank around bathroom. Oh, there it is. So at this point, if he does a lap, he can clear out top bathrooms. They kill one outside B. Rotations are going to be a little bit easier. Deha doesn't see anything. Hades still has the front of bathrooms cleaned out, but oh.
Masuda close right.
Yeah, there is somebody inside. It's interesting because I think Deha comes back and watches the top end of bathrooms, and he could hold the outside no problem. He also has this rotation.
Just set it on fire as well, right? Deha throwing in that nade just to make sure that there's no wraparound. And the moment 80 kills ZywOo, they get that bathroom player to come check it. Deha then, eyes turned back, and sure enough, we've got a 4v2 from what was the 4v5. Nice shot from Hades, keeps it clean as he locks down the bathroom's apex, stuck on long. His incredibly hot start it's kind of cooled off ever since. You know, this is 3 rounds nicely done from ENCE, and we can't forget as well that 8 from Vitality when they're able to win on the A site in the final 10 seconds. That's one big moment from ENCE away from also being their round win. But alas, this time 3 straight. Money should be low.
They were pretty calm about this situation. I think what was important there was not rushing to take back map control, and they just got that peek in at the right timing. They let Madden take a liberty to swing on Monster whenever he'd like. That was maybe the one risk of the round. Hades was set up perfectly, and Deha was right there to catch it on the fall back. Wasn't wrapping the bathrooms, just making sure that he couldn't get flanked from both choke points.
And that coffer full of gold that Vitality had worked so hard for is been entirely spent. Apex, single AK, Desert Eagles all around him. Took 12 rounds before Vitality were at an economic disadvantage. ENCE got to seize this opportunity with both hands, and so far so good. Great nade damage, Magisk, Zywoo both low. No early sketchiness.
How much cash to get an ENCE tattoo?
Like the logo,
Yes.
1 for 1?
Yeah.
Or just like a cool Kraken octopus type thing?
No, the logo. What's the difference anyways? It's a cool logo, isn't it?
It is, but you know, I would like make a full, octopus in a different stance.
You get no input on how it looks.
Oh, okay. My body, my choice. And Spinks choosing to kill 3 on the way in. Apex, AK at the front of it, runs in. Snappy, very fast. So fast, in fact, that Magisk hears him coming a mile away. Can't do anything about it. We've got Apex in a 1v3 now. Oh, and he turns his attention as Deha comes in with that final closing kill. So, ENCE, recovery mode.
Yeah, there was a chance. It had to be a headshot. That's pretty much what it came down to. But just a deal in hand. Doesn't happen for Magisk, and the round is eventually lost. It's half investment. What's your price?
I'll talk to Natu.
Try to get a discount.
If we both get them, then there probably will be. Package deal.
Yeah. I gotta maintain my bargaining power. I feel like I would get one for free. It's a good one.
I've got a gold ENCE sticker on my new AK skin.
Ours.
Ours, that's true. Our AK skin, sorry.
And for ENCE, I think they're trying to take a step into the future here, see what Vitality might be coming up with next. You know, what's the fresh idea based on all the things that have gone wrong in the last 4 rounds? And I think, for the most part, like they don't have to change too much to catch everything. If they want to stay around short water and have stairs control to themselves, they can go for that. I think that's kind of a round agnostic opportunity for the CT side on overpass, but yeah, they're going to just leave Spinks down there. They're not pushing short this time, and Magisk is being a little bit less, or a little bit more careful about the approach. I think some of the best players right now are spamming stairs. You know, you keep a Starfragger in there alone long periods of time. There's really good sequence opportunities, and with a player like Hades here, for example, there's a rotation out. There's also support for him if they peek the top of the stairs. Wow, Hades doesn't know it, but he actually has so close to 2 opportunities for shots there. Small missed timings, but still in a very fine position.
Seemed to feel the need to go back, and we'd seen him do a really good job of sectioning off 1v1 fights when he...
Oh, this is interesting. Look at Spinks. I mean, this is Snappy down the stairs, but Spinks is on the big flank.
So Snappy doesn't have to move a muscle. Masuda could still find this fight first. Doesn't see it coming. Snappy, nicely done.
But he doesn't know that the rest are outside B already. He thinks they might be rotating downstairs. Spinks sees nothing.
Yeah, that'll be the info. So they go out through Monster instead. Another round that comes down to the final 25 seconds. Deha hoping for his chance to strike. And they're dodging these fights step by step. Oh, Magisk. Nice, clean headshot up into the heavens. Madden in from water. Answers right back. All the while, Spinks getting ever closer. Zywoo tries to turn back. He's expecting something from heaven. They're trying to push towards Graffiti. Snappy stuck inside a short, and now this one suddenly falls onto the shoulders of Dupree in a 1v2 with a smoke already down on top of that bomb and Snappy's kit primed for the stick. Dupree will be called back into the action, and Spinks ends him. Giving that smoke down for the defuse, forcing Dupree's hand to come back. They didn't know where the counter-terrorists were coming in from. They tried to go for Graffiti. One gets blindsided, and then Dupree realizes this is not where I want to be.
Yeah, because I think they saw the first CT who was making his way out of pit while dupreeh has already turned the corner. That kind of blows his cover since he's already there. So then he feels uncomfortable, like, oh, okay, now I can't play in this position. This was a very nice attack by dupreeh to clear out the back of the pit. And yeah, Spinks gets, I think, the key information. So they're on the hunt in this direction. Don't see anything. And another round in a row is lost. As impressive as it was for Vitality to get to this point, it is now just a close game, it feels like. But, I mean, 3 rounds. 3 rounds of lead and a chance for Vitality to still end with a strong half.
Little squeaky fight. Magisk, no rush here. Vitality Molotov, the position on party that we'd seen Spinks use for boosts earlier. Very expectant of some kind of a fight to go down on the front side of A.
Man,
it's only towards long that we get anything from ENCE.
I really like ENCE using long. I mean, we haven't seen Vitality play it that often. So now they're doubled up in this position where Hades can watch backwards, Dia can flank around bathrooms as well, and a third player on A.
That third player being Spinks, now setting the crossfire with Dia.
Look at the angles opened up with this double long setup.
Gonna try to force their way in. Dia with the first one. Spinks then reveals himself. It is really smooth. Only ZywOo comes out with the kill.
Oof.
And by the time Magisk shows up, we've already got CTs swarming on the bomb site with the bomb at their feet, and Spinks is shooting sharp as ever. That is perfect. That is exactly what you would have wanted, especially with that quick rotate up from Dumpster, just to ensure that if anything goes south, they had the in control.
They had this position from Diha. It's only available as long as you have a teammate pushed up at long, and that's why it's important for the T's to like default to get control of it first, because coming up through bathrooms is not great. This is such a nice setup here from ENCE, and they did all this without showing themselves even once, so no surprise that Vitality loose to that crossfire. It's very strong, and now we move into the last round of the half. ENCE continue on the streak.
Vitality skip a step, trip and fall. They have now stumbled their way through the second half of the first 15. Magisk gets the better timing on Snappy. Felt like Snappy had been doing a really good job of just dominating this portion of the map, and that had been, you know, coinciding with ENCE and their 6-round streak. It all started with his MP9 kill versus Magisk. Molly goes into connector. Will it spread to dupreeh? No. He's fine. And ZywOo. Oh. Spinks getting shut down. 5 versus 3. Despite lower utility here from Vitality, it still could be their round win. ZywOo's going to see that as an invitation to get ever closer to B. Deep position from Madden. Water occupied by Diha. And Hades starting to activate up on A site. He could kill Masuda. Everybody trying to face.
That has been a threat. And look how he's just purveying the tunnel. I mean, so dangerous and so comfortable as well. No ZywOo there to op him.
Hades doing the same thing up top. Scanning, searching. Looking for that impact. 25 seconds and the exec comes in. All 5 players are still alive and kicking here for Vitality. So despite the 6 rounds in a row from ENCE and their best efforts to recover the half, it is a 3-round difference from Vitality as they put a 9th, the cherry on top of what was a very momentous start here on Overpass.